Sri Ramasubramanian has been giving very valuable talks on very complicated matters sometimes, and he has made it very simple for us to understand. And this time he has given us a talk on Manisha Panchakam, composed by Sri Adi Shankaracharya, that brings out the essence of Advaita philosophy. The word Manisha means conviction. That appears in the last line of all the 5 verses composed by Adi Shankara, which is in the form of an answer asked by a Chandala, who is actually Shiva, who came on the way, and then his followers, Adi Shankara's followers, told him to move away. And for the questions asked by the Chandala, Adi Shankara answers in these 5 verses, which has resulted in the beautiful Manisha Panchakam, which is the essence of Advaita. It's a very complicated thing, but Sri Ramasubramanian has made it very interesting and very easy to understand. And thank you very much, sir, for your kind support to our channel. And all of you, please enjoy the Manisha Panchakam.
Namaskaram. Today I would like to talk about Manisha Panchakam. This is a great boon to human being by Adi Shankara. It facilitates us to find our true purpose of life, which is very important. Ahara nidra bhayamaitunani samanyam etat pashubhihi naranam jnanam naranam adhikaha visheshaha jnanena hinaha pashubhihi samanaha. What does it mean? Aharam, food; nidra, sleep; bhaya, fear; maitunam, reproduction, is common both to animals and human beings. Then jnanam, the self-knowledge, is only the difference between human being and animals. So we are gifted to have born as a human being. If we are deficient in that, jnanena hinaha, if we are deficient in that, we are as good as animal. So Manisha Panchakam will help us to find the true purpose of our life as a human being. Then janmana jayate shudraha, karmana jayate dvijaha, veda padat bhavet vipraha, brahma janati iti brahmanaha. What does it mean? Janmana jayate shudraha. We are all born uncultured. We don't know the difference between right and wrong. We only do what we like and we avoid what we dislike. So that when we are born, we don't know what is right and wrong, the dharma, okay? Then we are all called Shudra. Then what we become? Karmana. As we do our right job based on what is right and based on dharma, what is right and wrong, we are called as Dvijaha, a civilized person, a cultured person. Then Veda Padat Bhavet Vipraha. By reading scriptures, and having the inclination and desire to know the true nature, we become inwardly tuned. We start looking inward, inwardly stirred. Okay. Then Brahma Janati iti Brahmanaha. Once we know our true nature, we abide in the true nature, we become Brahmana. So we need to move from uncultured to cultured, and knowing, reading the scriptures and abiding in our true nature. That is the objective of life. There are 4 Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So the moksha is the ultimate, okay, the supreme. So when we live our normal life, okay, going after the kama and artha, be it in a righteous way, sometimes we are happy, sometimes or most of the time we are not so happy. When we are happy, we want that situation to continue for long, and we also have a fear whether it will continue for long. That becomes a cause of dukkha, misery. And when we are having problem or when we suffer, We want that situation to go long. So we keep on regretting, repenting, resisting that situation. So most of the time we are going through this. Why? Because anything other than our true nature, which is called anatma, they are subject to broadly three doshas. What are they? Dukkha mishridatvam. Whatever gives you pleasure, that also gives you pain. I have in my Dakshinamurti Sostram, I have explained detail on that. Okay. Second one is bandhakatvam. We become addicted. We become bound by that. Third one is adriptikaratvam. We are happy when we have it. Then when we compare with others or later we think that something better or different would have been better. So anything other than our true nature is subject, they are subject to this three doshas. So we are not happy with that anatma, so we become dissatisfied. This dissatisfaction is the first steps to long for understanding the true nature. Then we become dvija. From dvija we move to vipra state, means we want to understand our true nature. We start going to a right guru with the help of a living, competent living guru, and going through the scriptures, we try to understand our true nature. So we understand very clearly that from uncultured way to cultured way, then learning scriptures to know about our true nature, and with the help of a competent guru, then abiding in our true nature is the purpose of our life. Okay. The scriptures, what they give is the essence of our true nature. Okay. They are called as Mahavakyas. The Mahavakyas, there are so many Upanishads, there are so many Mahavakyas, but there are four major representative Mahavakyas that are dealt in Manisha Panchakam by Adi Shankara. Okay. So before getting into the verses of Manisha Panchakam, Manisha means firm conviction. Panchakam means a set of 5. So Manisha Panchakam has got 5 verses which deals with the firm conviction of Adi Shankara with respect to who is his guru, who is the person who is realized his true nature. Okay. Now let's talk about the background. Adi Shankara, after taking bath in Ganga, he was coming back with his disciples. Then there was the streets of Kashi, are very narrow. Okay, so there was an outcast person with dogs, 4 dogs in his hands. He was coming, from the opposite side. So the disciples of Adi Shankara tell him, go away, because Adi Shankara is coming. Gacha in Sanskrit. So that person, the outcast person known as Chandala, he listens to that and he asks some questions. It starts with that. So we will see that what are the questions and what is the Manisha Panchakam is dealing with. So we saw that the Chandala has been asked to move away by the disciples of Adi Shankara, and for which he is asking, as a reply, 2 questions to Shankara. That is the first. It's not part of the Manisha Panchakam, but it's a prelude to that. He is saying that Annamayat, Annamayam, Atava, Chaitanyam Yeva Chaitanyat, Dvijavara, Duri Kartum Vanchasi, Kim Bruhi, Gacha iti. What is Anvayam? Hey Dvijavara, hey the great among the twice born, a great person, an ascetic, he is addressing Adi Shankara. Annamayat Annamayam. You are saying go away. Who are you addressing that? It is addressed to this Annamayam, this body, gross body, which is made of food. That is inert. It is like talking to a table or chair. If you talk to a table or chair, it cannot respond because they are inert. Like that, the Annamaya is made up of 5 Panchabhutas, 5 elements, is inert, so it cannot answer you. So, if you are addressing to the Annamaya, means the Annamaya, your Annamaya, my Annamaya has to move away from your Annamaya, then my Annamaya cannot understand. Because, for the matter, any Annamaya cannot understand because they are inert. Then, Atava, otherwise, Chaitanyat Chaitanyam Eva. You are asking the consciousness to move away from your consciousness. That is also meaningless because there is only one consciousness pervading everywhere, all pervading. Okay. So, Atava Chaitanyat Chaitanyam Eva Duri Kartum Tum Vanchasi. Duri Kartum means you want that Chaitanyam or the Annamaya, the body to move away. Duri Kartum, move away. Tvam, you Vanchasi. Do you desire that? He is asking. Kim? Gaccha Gaccha Iti Tvam Bruhi. You are telling that go away, go away. This is the first question that Chandala is asking. Now we will see the second question. Having asked the first question, the Chandala is asking the second question. Kim Ganga Ambuni Bimbite Ambara Manau Chandala Vatipayapure Va Antaram Asti Kanchanagati Mrit Kumbayoho Va Ambare Pratyak Vastuni Nistaranga Sagaja Ananda Avaboda Ambudau Vipraha Ayam Shwapachaha Ayam Iti Api Mahan Kaha Ayam Vibeda Brahmaha. Let us do the Anvayam, rearranging. Ganga Ambuni Bimbite Ambara Manau. Ambara means sky, Manau means jam. The Ambara Manau means Surya, the sun. The sun reflected in the Ganges, the Ganga water, and Chandala Vati Payapure Va Andaram Astikim. The sun reflecting in the auspicious pure Ganga water and the sun reflecting in a filthy water in the quarters of the Chandala. In this, between this reflection, are there any difference? He is asking the question. Are there any difference between the reflected sun in Ganges and the reflected sun in a filthy water? And he goes on. Kanchana Gati Mrit Kumbayoho Va Ambare Andaram Astikim. Is there any difference between the space inside a golden pot and a mud pot? Is there any difference? He is asking. Pratyak Vastuni Nistaranga Sagaja Ananda Avaboda Ambudau. What he is saying that within each and every self, within, inside everybody, there is a waveless ocean of natural Ananda consciousness, that is Brahmananda, is there within everybody. Is there any difference whether the person is a Vipra or a well-known person, well-read person, a learned person, and Shopachaha is a dog-eater? The consciousness in a learned person and a outcast, is there any difference? He is asking. A Mahan, he is addressing a learned person. I am Vibeda Brahmaha Kaha. What is this difference? Is there any difference? He is asking this question. So, we have seen the purpose of life, how Manisha Panchakam helps achieving our purpose of life, the background of Manisha Panchakam, that Adi Shankara was coming from river Ganges in the narrow street of Kashi, and a Chandala was coming from the opposite side, and the disciples of Adi Shankara asked the Chandala to go away. Then he asked 2 questions, whether you want the body, gross body to move away or the consciousness to move away. Either way, it doesn't make any sense because the gross body is inert. Like you are asking the table to move away or a chair to move away, it won't understand. The body is inert, it cannot understand. Consciousness is all pervading and it cannot move away. So, your question doesn't make any sense. The second question is asking that the sun reflected in the pure Ganges water or in a filthy water, is there any difference in the reflections? or the space inside a golden pot and a mud pot, is there any differences? In the same way, the Brahmananda, which is inside a Vipra, a learned person, or a Shwapachaha, the dog eater, is there any difference? The difference is, if at all there, it is only an illusion. These are the two questions he is asking. Shankara, listening to the questions, understood that the person is a realized person, and he starts his Manisha Panchakam, the 5 verses.
This is just the background on which Manisha Panchakam was composed. The next video, Sri Ramasubramanian sir will be explaining the 5 verses composed by Adi Shankaracharya. Our sincere thanks to you, sir, for taking your time to explain the very precious stotram. Now, our viewers will be eagerly waiting for you to explain the 5 verses, and thanks for watching the video. Mahaperiyava Sharanam.